Okay, everybody, thank you very much for coming to this webinar today on CRM systems and marketing automations. I am going to go through very quickly and just tell you sort of what a CRM system is and how it can help both your businesses or your clients' businesses. So a CRM, it basically means it's a customer relationship management system. And what it is, it's there to help organize your customer data. It usually can automate tasks and streamline your workflows. So that's ensuring that there are client notes all in one place, emails in one place, maybe tasks related to that contact all in one place. And there are different CRM systems out there that all do different things. Some have all the features, some make you pay for all the features, hence why it's important to find the one that fits your business for its size and its budget. Each one can be very difficult to make sure you find, rather than just going with the one that somebody else has recommended to you. I would always look at it and see, does it have the features? Is it within your budget? And how are you going to use it in your business? So the key features of a CRM: a centralized customer database to store all those customer interactions, automated sales and marketing processes to streamline your workflows, and customizable reports and analytics to track and measure success. And obviously, success is different to every different business. So what does success mean to you? Put that into your CRM. Is it sales? Is it sales? Is it more leads? Is it conversions? It differs for every business. So that is an important one to make sure you know. So some of the factors when considering choosing a CRM is determine your business needs and goals. Are you planning on scaling your business? So what are your goals? So do you want to convert more of your leads? So do you get loads of leads and maybe not convert them? Do you have loads of clients, but you're struggling to sort of keep up to date with who you've spoken to, when you've spoken to them? And how many people do you need to talk to and convert to be a client? So look at those ratios. Do I need to be warming people up beforehand before we have a conversation? Do I need to be nurturing them once they've become a client and I've onboarded them? So these are some of the things to focus on, because that will help you find the features that you need within a system. Considering the scalability, will the system scale with your business if you suddenly added a team member or two? Will you then be able to manage tasks between you and send tasks between you? Will you all have the same views on the same customers, or will you be able to restrict data from being seen with certain salespeople within the group and in the system? And it's always good, and this is just good practice, to find a CRM that has a good data security policy and integration capability. So that means when you want to have a system and you want to connect it to, say, your website or to another system that you're currently using, like it could be a project management system, you want to connect that every time you create a new board, it then syncs with the data in your CRM and connects it directly to the contact. It might be that you want to connect it to something that it doesn't have an integration with. Then we look at using something that we call middleware, which is things like Zapier, Make, plus this. And those systems are there to connect the two together, like Eventbrite, for instance. Everybody who registers for your event on Eventbrite automatically goes into your CRM with a tag that says webinar, CRM automations, this date, and it populates the system with their details that they've input into Eventbrite. You can then use that for following up after. And I'm going to show you how to do that in one of the systems that I use. Okay, so that's the short presentation bit. I'm now going to show you a CRM system. Now, this one is one that I end up recommending quite a lot because it's very budget friendly for small businesses. And it has all the features without tiered pricing to be able to say, oh, well, if you want that feature, you've got to pay this price. This one basically has it all in. So this one is called Keep, K-E-A-P. And this one is an all-in-one system that is designed for small businesses. And as you can see, I hope you can all see the dashboard. Is that correct? You can all see my dashboard right now? Yeah. So right now you can see contacts, leads, new clients, all of that. So this is how a typical dashboard is. You can lay it out how you like, you can move things around. But for this system, this is what they do. So it's very simple to see everything there. And a good system, you should be able to have a decent dashboard where when you log in, you can see where you are with every process and with every thing that you want to track. So quotes, sales, clients, new leads. If I go into contacts, this is just my test app here. So there's not a lot in this, but there's a couple of test ones here. So for instance, I'll click on my name here. This is a typical contact record, and all CRMs should track things like this. So those systems that say like Monday.com, they're not really a CRM as such because they don't really track the interactions between a client as much. Whereas it is great for project management. And if you're used to using spreadsheets, it's very similar to that. But this system like HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho, they all use these types of ways of having contact records. So you get to see a complete overview of what the business or what the contact interactions are between your business and the contact. So for here, I've got sales here on here, so you can see all the invoices between the contact and me, the business. You have all the email interactions pulling in between this email address and my email address. And you can click on any of those and say, yeah, I clicked on that. That was that email there. And that tells me everything that I can access. So I don't have to go looking through my email contacts, wondering where they are, wondering where that last email is. You can see it all from here. And again, most CRMs should have this feature in. So it means that you can have an overview without wasting your time looking for an email in your inbox. Tags. So I mentioned about tags earlier. Tags are how most systems, and you might be familiar with it from an email marketing point of view, they are what tells us the client is interested in. So are they interested in email marketing? Are they interested in a product? Are they interested in a particular product, or have they been coming to webinars but not bought anything yet? You can see their whole journey by using the right tags and making sure that whatever they do in your system, a tag is applied to them. This then helps you go through and figure out how best to target them for meetings or for selling a product, depending on what your business does. And then this one here is pipeline. It tells me if I've got any deals in the pipeline with that contact and where they are. And I will touch and show you some of those, because again, most CRMs have these basic features of sales pipelines, contacts, and some email marketing and automation. You can group into companies as well. So if you clicked on a company and they had contacts within there, you can have those in there. And you can also create your own groups to say, okay, all of those that are leads that have got a lead tag, I want them in that group. So this is just creating segmentation within the system to help you find the right people within it. And you can create as many groups as you like normally. Each system does it slightly differently, but this is the one I use the most, and it's the one I like the most as well. So I thought it was easier showing you a system like this because this is the simplest one. Things like HubSpot, they can be quite overwhelming, but if you know how to use them and do the training that they do give, it can really help. So if you are a HubSpot user, make sure you go onto their YouTube channel and have a look through. This system also has appointments, so you can set it so you can create your own appointments that you can then give a link to. It's all included in it. And you can set automations, and I'll go through automations just a moment to show you how you can use it to save time in your day. But so it works very similarly to Calendly and Acuity and all the other booking calendars out there. And it connects directly with your Microsoft or Gmail calendar. So this here has fitted in with mine, and it's picked up all my appointments from today, and it will check that before giving availability. There's also, for this particular one though, it does have tasks as well, so you can set yourself and automate tasks to be created if somebody does something, clicks on a specific link in your email or books an appointment with you, you can set follow-up tasks. And again, I'll show you the automation very soon. Email broadcasts, most people know these as email newsletters. So this system, and again, some other systems do let you create email newsletters to be sent out en masse to those people, where you can use that segmentation that you've created already to send it to the right people. And these have standard builders in most of the time, they have standard features, but if you're looking for something that has advanced builders to code, then I wouldn't use a CRM system to do that email marketing design. I would use one that is dedicated to email marketing and bolt it onto and integrate it to your CRM. Most of them have a pretty decent builder, but if you want to go quite advanced with it, I would recommend getting something separate. This has a sales pipeline, which some of you may have seen. HubSpot has the same version, so does Salesforce and a few others. You can move deals around, you can create them, make deal notes, put them into different values, put them into different areas, and again, automate those processes, which I will show you. That includes doing quotes. You can set a quote that if somebody clicks accept after they've sent it, it can automatically go into the pipeline, convert to an invoice, and send them that invoice straight away, which means you're not actually having to do that yourself. It saves a lot of time in a lot of people's day having to have these certain automations. So what I'll do is I'll show you a couple of automations. So this is a webinar lead and offer campaign. And I'll go into it and show you how this one is set up. So if you have clients or yourself want to do a webinar to show people how to teach them how to gain new clients through leadership coaching, for example, you could create the webinar, you could pre-record it, so you're not having to do it there and then. You can then set it up to be scheduled at a certain time, and you can use things like StreamYard or OneStream. They're both particularly good systems for doing pre-recorded videos and airing them as live. But you can set it though people can register. If they register through Eventbrite or through your own custom landing page, you can then tag them as soon as they come into your system. And that tag is very important because it can start this automation here. So I've got this one here, that this tag, wherever it says webinar registrant, this will mean it's starting it here. And anybody who gets that tag put on their contact, it would automatically start this whole automation. They will then get a confirmation email. Thank you very much for registering. Much appreciate it. You can find all the details here for the event. We look forward to seeing you. I'm just showing you a template of an email that we've used before, where you can see just bits of text with a link and with a little freebie as well, just to keep them engaged in clicking on those emails, because it's very important. And then we can time it for these reminders. So these are all reminders going out, and these will all go out the day and time we want them to go out. Okay, and that way, the more, if you make sure you give reminders, they will remember. Like today, we had 67 people booked. We've got 8 people in the room, but I know that the recording that will be done after this, a lot of them will click on that link and watch it because maybe something's come up, and that's fair enough. So then you take the automation one step further and you say anybody who clicks on one of those links in one of those emails, and the links in there are to do with taking them straight to the Zoom, you automatically can say, right, as soon as they click one of those Zoom links, add the tag to say they attended, because it meant that they clicked on it, they've entered the Zoom room, they've attended. You don't have to do that manually writing it down. And then not all systems do this bit. They have a slightly different way of doing it in things like MailChimp and Klaviyo and a few others. But this here is called a decision diamond, or some people call them a split. And this is where you can then say, those who have the attended tag, go up here, send in this branch here. And what you can then do is say, thank you very much for attending our workshop. It was great to see you. What did you think? We'd love to get your feedback. Here's a freebie. But anybody who didn't attend, who didn't click that link and didn't come in to attend, you can then personalize it and say, well, they go down this route. They didn't attend. So you want to say, we're so sorry we missed you. You missed us. It was a shame we couldn't meet on the Zoom. How about we set up to have a chat where we can talk more, or here's the replay for you. And again, if they click that link, they then go into different automations depending on if they've engaged with it. And the end purchase, the end point here is we want them to purchase one of the upsells within that nurture sequence. So at any time, if they click and sign up as a client on one of the emails, it will stop all these automations and take them straight over to this point here, which then we'd have another automation to say, thank you for joining. Here's all the details for your product. Book a call with us to set up your coaching session. That's just, to me, that is a simple automation. And I know to a lot of people that probably could look confusing. But this is how a lot of automation can save you time doing those manual follow-ups. And I created one for networking. So I personally do a lot of in-person networking. And tomorrow I'm off to an event where there's over 100 people going to be there. And we get a list beforehand sent to us with everybody's names, the company they're at, and their email address. They all give permission that we can contact each other because we're all attending the event. So for myself, I actually created a networking follow-up automation because I felt that most of my time was being zapped connecting with people on LinkedIn, booking in calls or getting them to book in a call for us to have a proper chat and just getting to know people or making that first introduction. So this is actually a really good way to connect with people you've not met but you want to actually talk to, especially if you don't have the time at an event to talk to them. So for me, once I import them into my system in a spreadsheet, they'll get a tag, and that tag will say networking lead. So it means that we're off to a networking event, and when I've put in their details into my system, it will also say the event that we're going to, the date that we're going on, and then they'll get an email saying, so they'll get an email that's slightly more personalized, and it is including those custom fields that I've created saying which event are we going to. So it was so this one was a post meeting one. This one was saying it was lovely to meet you at the networking event. This one's a more generalized one. But what I would normally do here is take this bit out and I put in something called a merge field. And you get these on your email marketing platforms. And you can choose what you want to merge into it. So if I go down to my, where is it? Custom fields, here we go. My custom fields bit here. And I look through, I don't think this is my test app, so I don't have everything set up. But what I can do is say, okay, company name. So for me, normally that would be event name in my current app that I use for clients. But this is my testing one to show you all because of GDPR. So this would normally be event name. And then I'd say at event name, on, and then the date would go in here. So the event date that I created, that I put in the details of the event date would go in there. So it looks like I've personally written to every person to say it was lovely to meet you at the Your Partnerships Big Lunch on the 8th of March. You know, that they would think, well, you can't automate that. You can't do that. Well, you can. And this is how it saves me time. And by sending these things out like this, it means that people then in their own time can book in a call to have a chat with me on their time when they're feeling like they want to get in contact. They might not want to get in contact, and that's fine. We would then just say, let's connect on LinkedIn. And then we're connected and we would talk via that way. But at least then in my system, I can see which emails they've had. I can see, are we connected on LinkedIn? Yes or no, because I will have ticked that box in the system after we've connected. So I know these things about them and it'll have the link to their LinkedIn in my contact record. And these are the types of things that you can really narrow down on, especially if you have a niche field, to make sure you know about the people that you want, that your ideal targets. Knowing that information is king. So knowing that, you know, do they have kids so we don't contact them on a weekend? Do they enjoy water sports? And you might know of an event coming up that's really interesting. Are they a mini enthusiast? I recently got given a client recently from a referral, didn't know anything about each other. We had a call. Turns out he's a really big fan of minis. So am I. He now keeps ringing me, asking me when the next mini event is. So it creates a rapport. And since then, he's now giving me loads of other referrals for new work. It creates a rapport of the know, like, and trust. And that's what you want to have with your clients. And having a CRM helps you build that because it keeps all the data there for you. So that's that one. And as you can see, if they book an appointment, then it stops. They don't get any more. They don't get any more emails like that, because then we've booked in for an appointment and I will manually go and add notes to it. If they don't, then they get a little follow-up a week or two later saying, oh, you must be so busy. That's no problem whatsoever. Just wanted to touch base again and see if you did want to have a chat. If not, no problem. Keep it casual. AI out there nowadays means that people, like, you can use ChatGPT for writing emails, but you have to remember, yes, use them as a template, but put your own personal touch with it so they know it's you. So if you love certain things and you mention something funny you may have talked about, put it in there. It is always really important. And these are what CRMs are for. Hence why they are called customer relationship management systems. So they're so important. You should be able to get reports out of most CRM systems as well, which will help you around sales, around engagement tracking of those emails. Are they being opened? Are people clicking in them? And it's really important to check that and to make sure that you're removing anybody who's got bounced emails, and make sure your data is clean and that you're not buying lists and just putting them in. So for instance, I put in a test email. And because test emails get used all the time, they tend to get blocked by servers. So if I clicked on this one, which I did the test email one, it automatically came up as soon as I put it in and said, opt out, and it's done it by the system. And it's telling me that because it's saying it's a restricted domain. Test.com, it doesn't like anything with test.com because he knows it's spam or fake or whatever. So these systems should be inbuilt with that to help you take out any of the rubbish. And so you're not going to ruin the reputation of your domain name. And your domain name is like, say, mine's myriadservices.co.uk. That's my domain. Okay. And they have an IP reputation. If you are sending emails that you don't have permission for and you get reported all the time by people for spam, it can ruin your reputation of your domain and get your domain blocked, which means nobody will be able to get your emails. So it's really important to make sure you do stick to those GDPR regulations of, do you have permission to market them, or transactional permission, which means if they bought something from you, you can send them transactional emails. So emails that relate to the service or product that you're selling. So that's very important to know and to make sure that you're up to date with. To be honest, that is most of it. This one also does landing pages and forms that you can create to sell products or to get people to sign up to freebies for, which is really great. And earlier on, I was talking about integrations. So this system, this is the integrations this system has. It has payment integrations, but it also integrates with your emails, with Zoom, and using Zapier. As you can see here, you can integrate with all of these and much more. So ClickFunnels and lead pages, all these sorts of tools that help you grow your business, you can integrate them into CRMs. And most CRMs should allow you to do that. Not all do, but I know, and some do charge a premium for integrating something else. I know Salesforce tend to have integrations where they charge people for connecting, for using an integrator, which is a connector that connects Salesforce with Xero, and many others. So it's always best to check that out before deciding on a CRM. How does it integrate? Do they charge you for integrating? Because that just adds on extra costs. Okay, so that's about it. I didn't want to make this too long because people can zone out when talking about tech. Me, I love tech and I will rabble on all day long. But I want to put it out there, if anybody has any questions about CRMs in general, or want some information sent about ranges of CRMs, or just have any questions yourself about anything that we've talked about,